meant to bring the iconic name to the American films, but brought nothing but dishonor to its iconic name, the irradiated iguana, Zilla. What's up, YouTubers of the world? Making Geek Mixer here, ready to give you guys my review on Godzilla 1998. While this may not be part of the Godzilla franchise, it had such a negative impact that it affected Toho's plans on what they were going for after the Heisei era of Godzillas into what they had with the Millennium series of Godzilla. And that was in the fact that they brought it back sooner than they expected, which is why I also felt it was necessary to talk about this one. Exactly that point, because of the negative impact it had to the Godzilla film. So let's get right into it. So first off, why did it cause such a negative impact? Well, it's because of the very monster that was in this film, Godzilla. It was not Godzilla at all. It was anything close to It wasn't anything close to Godzilla, mind you. Excuse me on that last part. But why? Because, well, for one, it does. Now, the looks, I didn't care about that. I understood the creativeness there. They wanted to have a different appearance, and I'm all for that. But when the appearance is one thing, but when you take out the characteristics that make Godzilla who he is, I'm sorry, guys, but I don't know what you guys in the directors and producers chairs were thinking back then. I don't know if y'all ever saw a Godzilla movie or not. All I just know is you guys did not know what you were doing. You probably did not see a Godzilla film at all, because if you did, you would have known who Godzilla is. If the appearance part, I was okay with that. I support that 100%, so long as you get the characteristics of it. And that is something y'all didn't do, because here we have a monster who at this point I'm just gonna say Zilla, because I can't really call it Godzilla when it's not even close to Godzilla. But Zilla is just a big giant irradiated iguana that was radiated by Frenchmen doing nuclear tests in some islands that they thought were uninhabited, which they found out they weren't, which is shown at the beginning of that film. And in the end, all this irradiated iguana would do was run away when the army would start attacking him. Bear in mind, he does have a bit of a clever side to him and outsmarting him and camouflaging himself, mind you. But he doesn't stand his ground. He runs away before he thinks about coming back and attacking. The only time that he was ever really showing his more aggressive side was when he was trying to capture the four main characters, which I'll get to here in a minute. But not only that, but in the end, he died from regular missiles. Yeah, he died from regular missiles. Godzilla is an indestructible force of nature that can't be brought down by missiles, and yet this thing just down within 12 missile shots at the end of the film. That's just sad. And what's even more sadder is that he didn't even have the irradiated atomic breath. No, all he had really was growling so loud that it would cause like some big explosion. Something like that around there. But onto the side where I was talking about where he's more aggressive was when he was going after the main characters because he thinks he killed their babies, which they did indirectly, but they were still the ones responsible for it. And why was that? Well, because the reason it was in Manhattan is because it wanted to nest, and it had it had laid all sorts of eggs, where when it goes to that scene where it was focusing on the eggs and the four main characters being in Madison Square Garden, where that's where he made his nest from, is where like it just felt like Jurassic Park back then. And that's what this film could really be called, like a little spin-off or a little loosened adaptation to Jurassic Park, with them just trying to add Zilla in there. And there wasn't really much to those babies either, just little irradiated iguanas eating fish, and then they needed more food, so they went after the main characters and their allies. They knock out some of them, but they aren't able to get the four main characters, and they are killed by the military in Madison Square Garden. And if that's not enough, really, that's what causes Godzilla into going around running after this cab where he's having a hard time trying to catch it. I mean, with how much this big this creature is and how big it runs, how could it have been so hard for that creature, for Zilla, to not just eat that thing easily? I don't know what more I could say with how bad that is. But then again, plot armor wouldn't explain it. They had to keep the chase scene interesting. And I'll admit, while this movie is bad, if you look at it as a Godzilla film, if you just look at it as though as a monster movie, not so bad. And I'll admit, the car chase wasn't all that bad. It was a little entertaining, to say the least. But if you really were to put this in the Godzilla franchise, this is definitely near the bottom of the list, if not at the bottom of the list to some people. I mean, I've ran around others who have said that it's at the bottom of the list, but not at the complete bottom of the list, and I understand why, because I agree with what they say. Even I might say that's what I would put in mine. But that besides the point. I'm getting off track there. Sorry about that. I'll also explain in the human plot of the things with the four main characters, that being Philippe, Animal, Nick, and Audrey. So Audrey, she and Nick had a thing back in college, but they went their separate ways. And when she came here to New York, she was having struggle times with her career job. That it made her ended up betraying Nick, but eventually she was able to fix that, and they were all good at the end. And with Nick, all he was first hired by the military because of his studying worms and how they grow so much bigger. People actually preferred him in the military as the worm guy. I guess you could pretty much put it as that if you want to. And then you had Animal, who's a camera newsman, and he's one of my favorite characters because I like his attitude and I like his daringness to take the risk of things. And man, talk about big risks, especially when he nearly got stomped on by Zilla when Zilla first appeared in Manhattan. Which, by the way, at the start of this film, Godzilla 1989, this actually started off in the right direction, and with how they weren't showing Zilla right away when he first showed up in Manhattan and just showed his feet. I did like how it started off. It was just after that things just went downhill. And then finally, you got the French dude who is my favorite character of them all because I loved his mysteriousness. Philippe being who serves his country and loves his country and wants to clean up all the mess that they made in secret. They don't want to work with the government because of the whole problems they might have down the line, political-wise. And let me just say, when it comes to politics, I try to not think too hard on that because politics are just, they just burn your brain out here. But either case, that was all pretty much it is for this film. Like I said, guys, this film had major flaws in the sense of Godzilla. So try not to, if you people see this, try not to look at it as Godzilla. Just look at it as Zilla, a giant irradiated reptile, iguana, that just happens to be a monster. Look at it as just a plain monster movie, and it's not too bad of a film. Still a bad film, but not too bad. But in either case, guys, that'll be all for today. And if you enjoy my videos, all you gotta do is click that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon to be notified when I make more videos. And I'll see you guys in the next Godzilla Reviewthon! Until then, Mega Geek Mixer signing out. Bye!